Welcome to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. We're two friends taking an explorative journey into all things astrology and a little woo. I'm Christine. I'm a creative, intuitive counselor and coach, and astrology enthusiast. We Pisces like to wear all the hats. You can find me on IG at The Dreamy Piscean.
And I'm Shelby. I am a licensed social worker, a big feelings person, and a light skeptic. Here to learn all the astrological things. You can find me on Twitter at Shelby Tweeting, and being a Cancer rising on Instagram at Shelby Cooking Things. Welcome to our show. Hey y'all. Welcome back to the I'm Such a Pisces podcast. I'm Shelby.
And I'm Christine.
And we've got a hell of an episode for you today.
Yeah.
All sides know me.
All sides
Are you ready?
We got some sides for you. You know, they're kind of healthy. We got some mac and cheese, some greens, some,
Oof.
I don't know.
Hearty.
Sweet potato
Hearty
casserole.
sides. Yes.
Dressing.
Think of all of your. Why am I hungry for Thanksgiving food? It is 85 degrees outside.
I was like, it's so hot for me to be talking about such heavy food.
Cranberry sauce. Let's throw some cranberry sauce in there.
You know, I don't fool with cranberry sauce and that stuff.
You don't.
I do not.
Oh my God.
Fool with it.
I love it. I love anything tart and cranberry. I was just thinking about making a TikTok about, for my own personal use, not for the pod, I've been making this little mocktail concoction where in my water bottle I'll put a little bit of a liquid IV, like the lemon lime flavor, chia seeds,
yes,
coconut water, and then just like a little bit of extra tart cranberry juice, like the kind with no sugar added, and it's just like really like refreshing and like kind of tangy. It feels like it's really like doing something for me. I don't know. That's my vibe right now.
You make it sound really good. I'm like,
Thank
I've
you.
Never cranberry, like me and cranberries all together are not friends, and so I'm like, it sounds good. I just in my mind, my taste buds are like, no.
I know, I get it. I will just like lick a lemon. Like I love that acidic, sour ass shit. I don't know what that means about my personal body chemistry, but also I'm having a hot girl summer. We need the cranberry. You know, we need to flush it all out, keep everything running smoothly. Okay, you know.
You sure do. pH balance.
Nothing bad is happening, but like, why not take a preventative measure? Okay,
Absolutely.
Baby.
Take care
Why
of your girls.
not?
All of the parts.
All of the parts.
All the parts.
However they identify.
Right. Exactly.
It's good for it's good for that. The no sugar added one though, the like extra tart. She tastes good.
Yes, no sugar.
Anyway.
Yes. You just gave me flashbacks of my grandmother trying to make me drink ocean spray back in the day, and I just like cried.
Yep.
It's like I hated that shit.
I'm sorry. There's so many varieties now.
I know.
Have you ever seen them? Okay, this is we're like, oh, it's gonna be a short episode because we're just doing little sides, but that gives me full reign to do hella tangents, and here I am. Have you ever seen the meme that it's like, God damn, like cranberry juice out here with all these different baby daddies, and they just like show the cranberry juice section at the store, and it's like ocean spray, cran grape, cran cherry, cran whatever, and there's just like so many varieties.
Mix. Yes.
Have you tried them all? Is there anything that could get you to drink a cranberry juice?
People say cran grape is so good too, and cran apple. I mean, like I just
apple?
Don't trust the cran.
Yeah.
It's that part.
Yeah. They're very sour.
And I love sour. I don't know what it is. Maybe I should try it again. I'm like, when was the last time I had anything cranberry? It may be time, that 7-year kind of thing with your taste buds. It may be time to try it again. I did start eating catfish. Well, not start eating.
You didn't used to like catfish?
Oh, no, I really did not fuck with catfish.
Why not? What was it? Was it a texture thing?
I don't know. Well, for one, for many years of my adulthood, I did not eat fried fish at all.
Okay.
Because for a lot of my childhood, we ate a lot of fried. Well, I don't know if we ate a lot of it, but it just felt like a lot. We ate Caffees and shit like that.
Right.
And I just couldn't do it anymore. It's like, so
yeah.
when I had a choice, I was like, no. I mean, when I was a teenager, my mom would cook fish. Like when she would cook catfish on Saturday nights, and she would make salmon for me.
Oh,
and now
that's really
she
sweet.
Talks about me for that, you know.
Look, you were the one accommodating,
right?
right?
And really, the more expensive fish.
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
Just for you, your little
just for
ass.
you.
So yeah, you know,
that's sweet.
All kind of things, but I can eat catfish now. I wouldn't say I
okay.
Eat it.
You're not gonna order
I'm
it,
not
probably.
Order it, going to get it.
Yeah,
but I'll eat it if that's what's available.
Damn, I really want some fried fish now, and that sounds good as hell. I don't need it because I have a fridge full of food. I was just telling Christine that I spent way too much money on food, and I barely got anything. Like, it's crazy out here. Groceries are so fucking expensive. I wasn't even at the Whole Foods. I was at the Trader Joe's, and then I just went to the regular ass grocery store. Like,
you went to two places.
I went to 2 places. I go to get the deals, you know. I'll like balance out.
How much at Trader Joe's?
Right. Yeah, I like balance out my shopping at Trader Joe's with like I'll get a couple things at Aldi. You know, if I really want something specific, I will go to the Whole Paycheck and get, you know, something special. But like, you can't buy more than 5 items. You're in for $100. Like, you're done. You're done, you know.
I did call the Whole Paycheck the other day to inquire if they had peonies, and they did not. But
Trader Joe's has them.
Dibs.
Yes, I saw them there the other day. I was like, these are so pretty. I do not need to spend the money on flowers right now.
Girl.
But I do love them.
Get some before, because peonies, their season is really short, and so they
so
don't
short.
grow like after June. And
yeah.
so I don't know how long the stores will still be able to get them after this month.
Right.
But I'm like, I gotta get one set of peonies in here before it's
yes.
done. Like,
yes.
So I was.
Oh
on
my
the
god.
hunt.
Okay. So I was at somebody's house the other day, and they're at a rental property or whatever, and they had all these peony bushes in the backyard, and they were like, just like they just are there because, you know, they're perennials or whatever. They just keep growing back. And it was like a week past when they had bloomed, and they were all already starting to like fall apart and like rot or whatever. And I was like, why didn't you call me why didn't you invite me over a week ago? I would have cut this shit. This would have been a centerpiece. I would have had a dinner party. Like, come on.
I can't even look. I'm like, I told you I've been watching The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yes.
And so
yes.
Lisa Vanderpump had like regardless of where she seems to live, seems to have like these amazing gardens, and she is from England, so like you know, English gardens, and like I mean, when you have some money, you can really do some things. And so her gardens are always like they look like she lives on like a palace, like in a
oh my
estate.
God. Yes,
and they're just so beautiful, and she has all these rose bushes everywhere, and I'm like, and she's just always out there cutting them. And then there's like another lady, and she's like, I spend like $1,000 on flowers, and I'm like, how easy? I mean, if you got it, I would too.
If you got it, yeah. If I had them, they're beautiful. Okay, if anybody that likes me is listening to this, if you have a little crush on me, buy me some fucking flowers, okay? I love to pretend like I'm cool and chill and like I don't need that shit, but like I want flowers. I love flowers. Buy me some fucking flowers.
And actually, just buy them. Don't arrange them. Let me arrange them.
Let me arrange them.
Don't buy varieties.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Don't buy me a pre-done arrangement. No. Okay? Don't do that either. Just buy me a couple different kinds of flowers. Yeah. Let me experiment. Let me put them in my own cute little jar. Yes. Like, let me have it, okay? Let me have it.
See, flower tangent.
Flower tangents. Yes. Do you want to see what CoStar has to say about it?
Let's see what CoStar says.
Let's see. Okay, let me pull mine up here.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot I looked at mine earlier today. It's a good one.
Ooh.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Either way.
Okay. All right, I can go. Because it's short.
Okay.
So co-star today is saying, growth is scary.
Oh.
Growth is scary.
Very much can be.
It really is. It really can be.
Very much.
So, yeah, it's okay. So, and I also, because I saw that, I was like, ooh, okay. Because I told you earlier, I'm like having a good day today. It's ovulation week, so I'm like got all the motivation. I'm like,
love it. It's
yes. It's now that I'm like paying attention to that kind of shit. I'm like, God damn, it really does make a difference. Like, I went to the gym earlier. I like, you can always lift like a little heavier when you're not like, you know, PMSing or on your period. Anyway, sorry,
Yes.
I don't think we have that many male listeners, but if we do, get over it.
You know, you're listening to a female-led podcast, so
Yeah, right? Respect women.
yeah.
Anyway, my do's this week include shea butter, weighted blankets, and salty snacks.
Oh, so cozy.
Yeah, some of my favorite things. Like, I'm gonna do my everything shower after we record tonight. I'm gonna, like, you know, self-care, lotion down, eat a salty snack, get this blanket, you know. It's gonna be great. My don'ts include mirrors. Too late. I've already looked at myself in the mirror way too many times today. Yeah, I know. I just told you I got this weird rash on my face. It is ovulation week, but there's still some shit going on over here that we're trying to fix. Anyway.
Just don't look at it. Just don't look at it.
Just don't look at it. It's
Look at
fine.
it.
No one even notices it unless you point it out. Anyway, mirrors. Lamenting. Don't do any lamenting.
Okay.
And don't make any assumptions.
Okay. Well, we generally try not to.
You know what they say.
You know what they say.
You know what they say. Yeah.
We're not trying to be asses.
Asses. Asses. Anyway, what's co-star got for you today?
Ooh, so I too have another one-liner this week. So I did see the preview.
Okay.
And it says, "Fear is contagious."
Ooh, you know what? It is true.
It's very true.
It is true. So is stress.
Oof. Talk about it. Talk about it. So my do's say endorphins, fizzy drinks.
Oh, we love a fizzy drink.
Love a fizzy drink. And vanities.
So you are supposed to do mirrors, it sounds like.
Right.
Right? Little
With my
preening.
fizzy drink with endorphins in it. Hey.
Okay. We love it.
Don't bragging rights.
Okay.
Musical numbers.
Fine. That's cool.
Now let me say. Well, I'll read. The last one says pom-poms.
Okay, so no pep rallies at your house.
No pep
is what I'm hearing.
Now I will say that I told you I was out looking for a plant earlier today, and so I was at the Home Depot and just moving around the aisles. I had my headphones in, my little earbuds in, and I was listening to some music, and this song came on, and I almost started fully dancing. I was just like, who gives a I was just like, okay, yeah. And I hadn't heard it in a long time, too. And I was like, oh, I'm about to break it down in this Home Depot.
What song was
house.
it that caused you so much, so many
it just
endorphins
was like,
here?
It's a bop. What was it? What was the song? Dang.
It's okay. I put you on the spot.
Right.
If you think of it later, let me know.
I will.
Because now I want to listen to it.
It wasn't anything crazy. It was, it was Ride of Your Life. Who sing, what? Who sings the song? It's not
Let me
Seven
Google it.
Streeter. It's one of those girls though. One of the R&B girlies.
Oh, is it Tinashe?
I think it is Tinashe. Yes.
Okay.
It's like, who is it? Yes.
Tina She?
Yeah, right.
Tina She.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Shout
that
out.
came on, and I was in the Home Depot, and I hadn't heard it in so long. I was like, okay. It's like this, you see you catch your little hips start moving. Your feet want to just move out of that position. I'm like,
right.
Don't start dancing in here, Christine.
Okay. We love it.
But why not?
We love
but
it.
Why not?
But why not? Why not? When I think of a musical number, I think of like a Broadway, and
yes.
I do not like musicals. Like, I have tried and tried, but like, I am not a theater kid. I do not like musicals. I can't. I've seen a couple. Like, I went to see Wicked on Broadway when I was a kid, and that was a magical moment. But like, I really could give a fuck about any of them otherwise.
See, I do love a musical. Like,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, and I understand people don't, and so I don't, I understand that people don't really love people breaking in a song in the middle of, watching a storyline.
Get out of here with that. Oh,
like,
good.
Why are you singing now?
Could you just say it? Could you just say it instead? That would be fine.
Oh, but I do love a musical. I cannot lie. I am a musical girl. I've watched the musical TV shows. I watch the movies. I watch the theater. I love it.
The theater. Christine's watching the theater. It always makes me think of. I had a roommate in college. Shout out Jenny.
Hey, Jenny.
She lives in Nashville. She actually lives in Nashville now.
Is it my
No, not that one. But she was a funny person to live with because she just would break out into song. She was a singer-songwriter, hence the Nashville move. But she would just break out into song about anything, and sometimes that shit would be just like so funny, and sometimes I'd just be like, "What the fuck is your problem?" I distinctly remember her just like making a fucking sandwich in the kitchen of our college apartment and pulling out a jar of mayonnaise and going, mayonnaise, and just being like, what is your deal? What is your deal?
That is totally me. Again, living at home alone, or when I lived with my partner, same. Because we comfortable at this point. I'm just going to be me.
I'm going to get weird. Get weird with it.
Breaking a song, breaking a dance.
Why not?
A song and dance number. Like, I can tell you, I do that.
A little bit of both, yeah. We love to see it.
¿Por qué no los dos?
¿Por qué no los dos? Yeah.
Have to work it in.
That is occasion. We gotta say it at least once an episode. It's my literal favorite phrase.
Yes.
Between that and you're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong. Some of my favorite things to say.
Yes, come on. Shelby's favorite things, like Oprah. Shelby's
favorite things. They're all just like problematic phrases that I'm saying. Oops. Yeah. Okay, so I feel like we've been on enough tangents for Ghost Star. Do you want to take a quick little break and come back with some relatable content?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, y'all. We are back with the relatable content. And we've got, we're all sides this episode, so we've got, a lot of sides here. A lot of sides in the relatable relatable content. Barely.
Barely. Good time. We love to see it.
So Shelby's going to start us off with a book club update. So, take it away.
Yes. Okay, so I realized today I might have to start doing a book club update for the rest of the season, like every episode instead of every other, because we're almost done.
We're almost done. If y'all didn't know, we're almost done with the season, y'all.
Wrapping up the season.
We're getting down to the bottom.
We're in the waning portion of the season.
Yes. Come on, the waning moon. Yes.
Because we're talking about that today, by the way. So, in case you missed it, in case you are just now joining us for our book club, we are reading the book Magical Astrology by Skye Alexander. Use the power of the planets to create an enchanted life, right?
Yes.
So, we're talking about all kinds of different things, but today we're covering chapters 6 and 7. And so we're talking about, in chapter 6, we're talking about working with, well, really both of these chapters are about working with the planetary bodies, and so chapter 6 gets its own devoted chapter for working with solar and lunar energies. And then chapter 7 is about working with the planetary powers. And so just, again, how you incorporate these things into your rituals, your magic practices, all that kind of stuff. So, as with a lot of the things that we're talking about here, you know, you've heard us talk about this before, right? In a myriad of ways, but we're really just talking about the sun. Like, so when we're talking about the sun, we're talking about that sun energy. It's this like primary indicator of your personality. You can think about it as this present version of you, where the vibrations are really invigorating and expansive. But that being said, it's a really positive energy for your magical work, right?
Yes.
Especially in terms of if you're trying to maybe like cast spells or bring in energy that is related to what they in the book were calling outer world activities. So thinking about like business ventures, improving your public image, even strengthening your physical condition, like how you look to other people. If you're trying to sort of call those things in, kind of utilize your sun sign to harness that energy and use those characteristics for your spell work, right?
Oh, okay.
This is just a complete tangent and side note, but they had mentioned it in the book, and I was like, wait, have we talked about this on the podcast before? Because what the fuck? So they talked about how cities and places and countries, like, depending on when they were founded, they have their own sun signs that kind of, you know, encompass, like, the whole of their what they're being and, like, what they're about.
Mm-hmm.
And the U.S. is a Cancer.
Yes. The U.S. is a Cancer, right?
You know,
on the established, yeah.
Of July.
Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which reminds
Interesting.
me of coming up on Cancer season. But I like that. I read that and I was like, that doesn't feel right.
What sign would you give the U.S.? What is the U.S.'s rising sign? That would be even more interesting. Well, I guess what time were we established as a country?
Declaration of Independence written, right?
Right. What time were they signing that though?
And the book was like, oh, well, it makes sense because the U.S. places a lot of value on like family and nationalism and like these kind of values. But I was like, you know, it feels like a stretch. It feels like a stretch to me. Like, are we sure?
I mean, that the nationalism part makes sense because you think about the fourth house and home and like that loyalty to home and all of the, you know, and the U.S. definitely got a lot of that going on. We're rooting for ourselves, I guess. I saw a commercial the other day. It was like a military, I think it was a Marines commercial, and I don't know. I had some personal feelings.
Doesn't that make you sad?
It made me, yeah, it just didn't feel like a good vibe. I just saw them blowing up ships and shit, and I'm like, okay. And they're like, we gotta protect our country. I'm like, okay.
I can respect the individual accomplishments of people in the military.
Absolutely.
I can respect why people want to join the military. They offer a lot of benefits. It works out great for some people. As a whole, that shit is bad. I mean,
you know, going to war.
It's bad. The U.S. is out here
not
meddling in foreign... sorry, let me go on a tangent.
Don't get us started.
Imperialism real quick.
Don't get us started.
Yeah.
Because we can go. We can go about that.
I have feelings.
I have lots of feelings.
To talk about them. Anyway, that is not what this is about. This is not what this part of the book club is about. But I was just... They popped that in there, and I was like, Cancer, really? And then they were like, oh, well, the U.S. exports so much food. And it's like, okay, that is also true, but it's not really giving a mommy vibe,
It's definitely not giving mom vibes. Definitely not.
And that Cancer is mom vibes to me.
Unless it's like toxic, narcissistic mom.
Which does, you know...
Maybe that's us as a country.
Yeah.
I don't want to claim myself as part of it, but I do live here.
Live here. I'm not proud of it, but I do.
Not proud of it.
If I go to another country, I do not want to tell you that I'm American. But
Don't.
You'll know.
But you'll know. Unfortunately, you will know.
Yikes.
I try to hide it. I try to disguise it as much as possible.
You hear the way I talk, the way I walk into a room.
Dress.
As much as I'm trying not to be an asshole, I'm still
Absolutely.
American.
Still American. Jeez.
Anyway, sorry about that tangent, but I was just like, what the fuck? Anyway, let's get into it. Anyway, consider your sun sign when you're trying to do those sort of outer worlds activities, when you're trying to call those in, doing that kind of magic. And then, of course, on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have the moon's sort of very different feminine energy. It's very intuitive. They just mentioned as a side note, like, if you meet somebody with a similar moon sign or a moon sign that vibes with yours, like, that's often very intuitive connection. Like,
oh, yes.
I really vibe with, a lot of people with, like, air moons like mine. I'm just like, oh, we're just in here talking. Like, yes, it works well for me.
Yes.
Anyway, so that's a thing. But the moon's energy is a different vibe. So if you're trying to call in, things like magic or spells or, things around love and family, fertility, really just like anything in that divine feminine sort of space, right?
Yes.
You're wanting to use the moon's energy. And they also talked a little bit about utilizing these different lunar phases. So I know, we hear a lot about like new moon and full moon rituals. So new moon being like, okay, you're sort of planting the seeds for something that's going to come soon. So, we hear a lot about that. And then a full moon just being like more of a time of culmination, kind of completing things, sort of wrapping things up. But I don't feel like I hear a lot of people talking about different kinds of things to do during a waxing or a waning moon. So when you're talking about a waxing moon, obviously something is growing, like the moon is getting bigger. Lucy's got the airport immediately above her head right now.
It's always so. At least it's not crashing down like last week.
Oh my god, that was a traumatic experience.
Traumatizing. It happened twice in one day.
Seriously, you were talking about it and then it happened. I was like, oh my god, she was not kidding. That shit is scary. Anyway, waxing moon. So you're thinking about things that promote growth or increase, especially like prosperity spells, or if you're trying to like call in, financial wealth or wealth of any kind. Really, it doesn't necessarily have to just be financial.
Sure.
But you're calling that sort of prosperity in. And then think about, the exact opposite of that for the time during a waning moon. So if you are trying to set limits, if you are trying to, limit yourself in any way, if you're trying to set a boundary or cast people out of your life, the best time to do that is during the waning moon, right?
I think that makes sense in that you think about that cycle and you think about the things you want to increase. Your new moon, you set your intentions and you think about the things you want to increase during that period of waxing to the full moon. And then the full moon, you're like, let's release things we want to decrease in our life, and just that cycle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a beautiful little dance.
Yes.
So I just, as an example in here, they had like a waning, like also, keep in mind the position of the moon, like where it is. So it changes very quickly. We know the moon moves fast, but
moves fast.
For example, like a waning Capricorn moon could mean like maybe that's a good time for if you're trying to reduce some of your work responsibilities, or you're trying to like, chill the fuck out and not like do it all at work, and you're trying to release that, like do it during a waning Capricorn moon, right? Like, makes sense to me.
Love it. Yes.
It's all very intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Also, just generally speaking, So in terms of eclipses, which we're kind of getting out of eclipse season now, but there'll be more at some point.
There will.
Think about solar eclipses being really favorable for lunar practices, because the sun's energy, or the sun, is being blocked, right? So if there's a solar eclipse, maybe try some of these moon practices or these moon energy things that we're talking about. And then during a lunar eclipse, obviously it's the opposite way. So during a lunar eclipse, you're really supporting more solar kinds of activities and sun magic sort of things. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's more or less the gist of chapter 6. It gets into a little bit more detail about some of these things. But because we've got a lot of sides for you today, I'm going to move on to chapter 7. And chapter 7 is all about the individual planetary bodies and kind of the powers that they hold. So I'm just going to give a quick run through of like the types of the types of magic, so to speak, or the types of things that you want to call in, or when you might be looking to utilize specific planets in your rituals. And you can do these in all kinds of ways. The book kind of covers different ways to utilize each of the planets based on whatever sort of crystals are associated with that planet, or the symbology associated with that planet. But these are the kind of different ways that you might want to call them in.
Okay.
So, so we talk a ton about Mercury. Like, we know that Mercury deals with communication and talking, and all that kind of stuff, technology. So if you're trying to invoke something with travel, with communication, maybe you're looking for a new job, you've got business dealings, contracts, those kinds of negotiations, you're really wanting to call in Mercury for that.
Yes.
Makes sense? Right?
Yes.
If you are trying to make a favorable impression on other people and really attract people to you, who might benefit you either in a social way or even in a business way, then you might want to invoke Venus, because Venus is all like, we think of Venus as this planet of love, but also like Venus is about the money. A little bit of both.
Yes.
So, you're trying to like be attractive to other people. Call Venus in. They got you.
We love Venus.
We love Venus. Ugh. All my Venus planets are like my favorite people. All right. So if you're trying to confront danger, or you're dealing with some like adversaries or some big challenges in that way, you might want to consider invoking Mars. So Mars, as we know, it's like the god of war, the what's the word? I can't think of the word. Anyway, but we think of like things that are dangerous, or things that are like
violence, aggression.
Aggression.
Yeah.
I was thinking of. I don't know why I could not think of the word aggression. We say it on the podcast a lot. I don't know. Just a regular ass word.
It's always the words that you want that don't come.
Also on that same tip, like, of course, we think of Mars as like aggression, the planet of like sex and that kind of stuff. So if you're needing some extra energy or some extra strength, there's some extra like, sexual prowess, like, hit up Mars, see what they've got going on.
Hey Mars.
Hey, can you help me out?
Hey big head.
Hey, this isn't working. Like, I don't know. They might be able to help you.
Hey.
All right, so moving on. You're looking for prosperity. You're looking for healing work. You're looking for fortunate vibrations. You're looking for good vibes in your legal matters. Jupiter's your boy, or your girl, or your being of any kind.
What is Jupiter's? Is Jupiter, well, traditionally, I feel like Jupiter is masculine traditionally. I think it is. So you were on the right track.
I think it was your boy Jupiter.
Your boy Jupiter.
I said that. I was like, is that right?
Yeah, boy.
But then I was like, we're expansive. Jupiter can be whatever Jupiter wants to
Jupiter, yes, be yourself, Jupiter. Just whoever you are.
be.
We're down with it.
Jupiter is a planet of good vibes, as you were mentioning on your IG story the other day. All those Jupiter transits were happening. Like,
Yes.
yeah, they feel good.
Abundant energy, just feeling good, feeling great. How about you? Yeah.
We love that.
That's how Jupiter feels.
Exactly. And then, you know what's coming next. Are you looking for banishing rituals? Are you looking for letting go of things? Are you looking to protect yourself and form strong boundaries? Maybe build some inner strength? Maybe you're trying to bind an enemy? Saturn.
Daddy Saturn.
Daddy Saturn.
Hey, Daddy.
Says, here's your boundaries.
I need to bind somebody.
Okay? Maybe we need to be invoking Saturn more often.
Right.
I can stand to do that, probably. A little discipline.
I think we all could. All of us Pisces, definitely.
Yeah, sadly.
We don't love him, but, he's good for us.
He's good for us. He's good for us. Daddy provides for us. Okay, anyway, sorry, that's really quickly. Let's move on. Okay, we know about Uranus, right? So if we're invoking Uranus, know that, it might help you create change, but you might not be able to control the outcome. It's volatile energy over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's powerful, but it's often super destructive. But it's also great for if you're working in a higher realm, or if you're trying to kind of get up on another plane.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a risk you're willing to take. Just know that the outcome is maybe not always going to be.
We don't know what it's going to be, and it might be a surprise.
It's probably going to be a surprise.
Might be shocking. Because that's Uranus.
That's how it is. And then, of course, we a planet after our own heart, some Neptunian vibes. Maybe you're looking to strengthen your psychic work or your divination or your intuitive abilities. Like if you are looking to get in touch with some of that, your sensitivity to other people, your connection to non-physical worlds. Neptune's the planet that you might want to hit up.
You want to do some drugs? You want to,
Do some drugs.
do some shrooms? Neptune,
spiritual experience. And then, of course, Pluto is a whole different vibe. So
a whole different.
Pluto really is associated with all kinds of alchemy and occult in general. So any type of magical thing that you're doing, inherently invoking Pluto is going to be helpful. But especially, dog's about to bark. My dog's about to bark. You gonna bark? It's been a while since we've had a little Kima Kima on the podcast.
I know.
Anyway, so Pluto, literally any kind of magic can be enhanced by Pluto, but especially sex magic, banishing and purification spells, strengthening inner power, or transcending the physical realm.
We love to transcend the physical realm.
We do.
I don't know if it's Pluto or Pluto.
Pluto, where's our...
I don't know if I can invoke Pluto.
It's a
I don't
lot.
know.
It's a lot.
I'm scared. Again, what did I say? I told you I was scared of Scorpios. I'm afraid of invoking Pluto energy.
They might be a good match for you, Get
it
in
might
there,
be good
see
for me.
What's there to see?
I'm scared.
I don't know. So if you're interested, if you're following along with the book club, all of these, there's more detailed instructions about how to invoke all of these planets in your different rituals, your different practices. But that's a good start. I thought that was a fun, interesting little chapter.
Absolutely, because y'all are following along, so y'all read this too. So
everybody did their homework.
Everyone did their homework.
Read the book, okay?
So,
you don't need me to read the whole thing to you.
We don't have to
This
read the
is
book
just
to
discussion.
you. Right.
I think there's a copyright infringement there.
I think there might be.
So that's what I got. That's
Might
what
have
I
to get
got.
permission to actually read the book on the air.
It's a read along. That's a different kind of podcast. If you want
Different
that,
kind. Hey.
let me know. I would love to ASMR read you a book if you would like to pay me to do that.
Hey.
Know that those services are available over here.
They're available.
Just send
If
me
you
an
want to
email.
hear Shelby read any book, well, any book.
I'll do it. I can do it in my sexy voice too if you want.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get rid of the vocal
Get her.
fry.
Yeah, let's make you set your price, sis, and go ahead and hit them up. Like, let them know.
Absolutely.
Let them know. Okay, so y'all, I have an update. So was it last week? When did we talk about Saturn and Enceladus? It's Moon Bay.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Was that 2 weeks
Our-
ago?
Our gushy moon.
Yes. Oh yeah, she was
Yes.
real gushy. So we've got an update on Enceladus, okay? Now we did find out that she is one of the main moons, okay? She's one of the sister moons. It's a bunch of them. It's 146 of them. I think they found another one because last time I checked it was 145.
God.
So they just keep finding more. I don't know.
Research on something else. There's too many.
There's so much going on over there. So she is the sixth largest. So she is a main chick
She's a
over
big
there.
Girl.
She's a big girl. So we got an update on Enceladus because she has a soda ocean. She got a soda ocean over there.
I'm
So
sorry.
what is a soda ocean?
Is it like a soda stream?
Maybe. It is like a soda lake. Apparently, I did also not know what a soda lake was, but apparently we have those. So let's find out a little bit more here. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because, well, one we talked about the other week, and
Sure.
because Shelby said, does that mean that there could be life?
Life.
Life
there be
on
life?
this moon?
Yes.
So, I read this morning. So this moon, Enceladus, has a liquid ocean with a rocky floor under its bright white frosty surface. It also has ice volcanoes that spew frozen grains of materials into space, generating one of the many rings circling the planet. So, interesting. But the big part of this, the research that they have done has found that those icy grains contain phosphates. And phosphates, apparently, are a big supporter of life.
Aliens.
So, we might have life out there. And apparently, it says it's the first time phosphorus has been found in an ocean beyond Earth.
God.
So this is a big deal, y'all.
This is a
Could
huge
be
deal.
some aliens up there. I won't read the whole thing to you or anything, but the big deal is that there is phosphorus, and so the phosphorus makes it kind of carbonated, kind of creates some carbonates.
A little LaCroix Ocean, if you will.
Yeah, come on, LaCroix Ocean. Oh, I wish. I wish we could name the show that.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we're not
Let's
gonna.
keep it.
Maybe.
Let's keep it in mind. LaCroix Ocean.
That's a beautiful name for a little girl.
Look at Shelby's child will be named LaCroix
LaCroix
Ocean.
LaCroix Ocean. I'm not going to say my last name on the podcast.
Right, we won't go with that. But so earlier research showed that phosphorus should be scarce on extraterrestrial ocean worlds, which could hold back life from forming elsewhere in the solar system or galaxy. So again, this is just a really big thing because they weren't thinking that they would find all of this. And, she was gushy. Not too long ago, she was so gushy. And we have just found out that not only is she gushy, she's got phosphorus going on.
She's pregnant.
She's got them icy volcanoes shooting out and all kinds. She's got a lot going on.
When you're so gushy that they, Daddy Saturn doesn't exist. Okay, this is so gross.
So we'll move on from Enceladus, but you know, she's still having a good time out there, and she's got you know, might be something living on there. We don't know.
We're so happy for her. I love it.
Yes, I mean, she's got lots of good news for us. So that's Enceladus. That's our little Enceladus update.
Okay.
So next, I want to get into some interesting things that I've just found around the internet this week, particularly from one source. So go ahead and shout him out because all of these stories he did, and I would like to give him that credit. So this is from @Bruce_Wayne 11, and so we are going to start with a little celebrity headline transits.
I'm fascinated. What do we got?
Fascinating. So the first celebrity. Okay, words today, or just not. Blah, 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 blah. Again, do I need to do my vocal exercises before we get started? Right. How now, brown cow? How now, brown cow? What are we saying? The bluebird, bounce the ball. I got it.
Oh my god.
Okay.
All right. Give us the celebrity transit.
Our first celebrity. This person is a little more niche, so, if you may know her, you may not. Her name is Miss Jocelyn Hernandez,
okay,
the Puerto Rican princess herself.
If you don't know Jocelyn Hernandez, what's the song? How does the song go?
Oh, wait. No.
Oh, no.
As soon as you asked, I'm it just went right out of my head.
Why did it was on a playlist.
Is it a birthday song?
No, is it they say the word birthday. God, okay, I just
do it like it's my B-day. Do it like it's my day. Yeah, do it like it's my B-day. I'm is it a birthday song? Yes.
Are you
do it like it's my
B-day?
B-day, baby, okay? And that's all you need to know.
Live your best life.
Do it like it's my B-day. So, Jocelyn has been known from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta fame. She is a rapper. She also, I believe, has a... Right. Hey. She claims to be a rapper, so I'm just going with what she says she...
Of course.
But she also, I believe, has a show on Zeus called Jocelyn's Cabaret. Jocelyn's Cabaret. She also used to strip, y'all, so that's, maybe a connection.
Sure.
Just go watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Very messy. Very good.
You'll get it out very quickly.
She says, "Hey, maid," and that's all you need to know.
That's all you need
and
to
Stevie.
know.
Just go watch the show, y'all. It's great. Jocelyn is great entertainment regardless. She might make you mad, but she is entertaining. So if you know Jocelyn, you know she's a fighter, first of all. So this story is with her mugshot. I'll let Shelby see that there. Beautiful.
And, oh my god. Yikes.
Yes. So it says Jocelyn Hernandez's Mars opposition. Did you know about Mars oppositions?
Don't tell me more.
I didn't know. I'm what do we need to know? Yeah. So this says reality star Jocelyn Hernandez was arrested Monday on at least 4 charges, including trespassing and battery. Hernandez was attending Floyd Mayweather's exhibition fight against John Gotti III in South Florida.
She decided to get in her own little fight, huh?
Okay, she was going to be at fight night.
Of course.
Of course.
Why would you not?
And it's in Miami. So she got into a brawl with another reality star, Big Lex. And it's all in her stars.
How so? Tell us
How
more.
so? Jocelyn is having her Mars opposition. And if you know astrology, you know Mars opposite itself can be quite violent.
Right.
So think about that opposition energy and then think about Mars opposite itself. So she was born with a Mars square herstellium of Pluto, Sun, Venus in Scorpio.
Ooh. Okay.
So if you didn't know the Scorpio piece, that might make a little more sense to why she's way intense, right? Got some interesting darkness energy. And her Mars is square all of that energy. So now, again, squares create some challenging energy. Challenging energy. All squares aren't bad, but most squares are pretty challenging. There are some squares that are good. Yeah. Some squares can be somewhat beneficial. It just depends on the planets. Like, there's a few squares that are actually a decent, aspect. But most squares, people don't get excited about squares. So that says it all right there. If you have ever seen her in action on Love and Hip Hop or her other reality shows, you already know she's a ticking time bomb.
You already know.
Now he says, come on, Big Freddy. Yes, it's still Pride Month. Hey, don't get me started, Shelby. Do not get me started. Ooh, I have a tangent, but let me stay focused. Okay. He says, she is one of my favorites. Her Mars in that stellium in Scorpio was triggered by transiting Mars. So Mars is bold and loves to start a good fight. There could be some consequences for her as she is also having her Saturn square. Jesus.
Oh, no. Ooh.
Saturn holds us accountable. That's probably why she has a mugshot.
And it's not cute, let me tell you.
It's not a good look for sis. It's not a good look. So he says, I'm not sure what the bra was all about, but if in fact she started it, there may be a price to pay. Because Saturn is going to collect. Saturn said, you're going to have these consequences. So, that was our first story. So, that was the first time I really read about, a Mars opposition. And so then I went, I was Googling, I was looking, I was in all the little astrology places and nooks and crannies trying to, see what's Mars opposition? Like, what's going on with that?
Right. Tell us.
When is my Mars opposition? Will I go to jail? Will I fight somebody?
Not will you go to jail. I can't have you go to jail, friend. We can't record the podcast while you're in jail.
I can't go to jail. Now, the good news is I feel like my Mars is in the 12th house. Now, well, good or bad, I'm not sure. But here's the thing. Again, the 12th house, if we don't remember, that little piece of the 12th house that governs prison. Being locked up. So that always makes me a little nervous about the 12th house, especially because I have a stellium there. Like, we don't want that energy.
Episode if you haven't already.
Yes. So I'm trying to think. I'm like, okay, so my 12th house, so the 12th house opposite the 12th house is 6th house. So Mars would have to be somewhere near the 6th house. But I think my Mars is in Taurus, which means the opposition Mars would have to be, what is the opposite of Taurus? Scorpio, right?
Scorpio.
Yeah. So Scorpio, I believe, is somewhere between my 6th and 7th house. I think it's split. Either way, things to look out for. Watch out for your Mars opposition, people. Things to look out for. Yeah. I was concerned. Okay. I was like, "Ooh, when is mine?" Actually, let's just. Or when did I last have one?
Did you find out?
I didn't find out when I last had one. I have to really dig, and I wasn't in that digging of a mood yet.
We're not in that kind of mood today.
We're not in that kind of mood just yet, but I will. So, the next celebrity we have is Tyler Perry. And the headline is Tyler Perry to take control of BET.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. So
Are
Tyler
we really
Perry's out here buying
mostly
shit.
Playing his content anyway.
Pretty much. Now, this was interesting to me because I had just, I told you how much I enjoy watching hours and hours of Architectural Digest channel.
Yes.
And I saw a show, one of their shows, it's like Cribs, but it's like their version,
Did they show
so much
Tyler
cleaner
Perry's
and
house?
So they showed Tyler Perry's studio lot. Because if you don't know, Tyler Perry has a mass of land.
Have we all seen
in
Atlanta?
Jesus. Right. Good. Come on, call back. That was a great episode, actually.
Such a good episode.
I wish we could tangent just on that, but we can't.
Some other time.
But Tyler Perry had what he was showing on that episode was he has several historical homes on that property. And so he was actually showing those. I mean,
Okay.
it'd take all day to show the whole thing. The thing, it's massive.
You need a whole series.
It's massive.
Huge. It's
If
a
you
fucking compound.
have been to Atlanta and you've seen that, geez,
Yeah.
massive. Anyways, so Tyler Perry clearly is doing well. He is having his Venus return. So it says recent reports say Tyler Perry is set to take control of BET Network. Looks very likely.
Yeah.
The amount he is paying is undisclosed at this time, and it will also give him control of VH1, making him the first black person in history to own 2 networks. Good stuff. And it's all in the stars. So, transiting Uranus is sextile his midheaven. We know midheaven is, that space of like what we're supposed to be doing, our purpose, our, where we're going, what we're doing, our public-facing life. Also trine his Sun and Pluto conjunction, with Pluto ruling his second house of money. So, he is also having his Venus return with Mars also conjunct his Venus, as well as indicating a power move around his money.
Makes sense.
All right. Venus is his chart ruler, transiting Jupiter. Remember, Jupiter is out here giving us abundance right now.
Mm-hmm.
Jupiter has entered his 8th house, conjunct his natal Saturn, which indicates the structure of his empire is expanding. He is also having his Saturn sextile and his Neptune trine. So Neptune rules television and movies. I did not know that.
I didn't either. It's a form of escape, so that
Absolutely,
makes sense.
right? Yeah. Maybe that's why I be watching so much TV. Okay.
That's why I have to stay away.
Right. I'm like, I have to go off TV sometimes because I end up like watching so much of it, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm done with this. He does have some not so good transits, like Neptune opposite his Sun Pluto and Saturn opposite his natal Uranus. But clearly, with all of the other big transits he is having, this is a good time for him.
A great time to be Tyler Perry.
I'm like, it's been a great time to be Tyler Perry for a while.
I mean, look, that
Tyler
empire
has been really
already
enjoying
massive
himself.
for so long.
So long. And just
So
without...
we have to watch Acrimony on the podcast sometime.
Oh, God. It's just not that, though. I think I tried. I don't know what happened. I think I tried to watch that, and I just couldn't do it. Not even comedy. I mean, I just couldn't. I was like, I can't do this. I can't.
There's not enough weed
It's
in
too
the
much.
world
It's
to do
too
that.
much. Okay, so our last celebrity transit, y'all. It's a good one. Popeye's chicken sandwich.
Is it back? What's happening? I'm
Well, it's still
scared.
here, girl. It never left.
Oh, it
Well,
never left. Okay.
It went scarce for a while, but once it came back, they got it together. I don't know, what the real issue was, honestly. Other than them trying to make it a hype, it's like it was
Right.
during the pandemic, y'all. So
Yeah, scarcity.
scarcity,
type,
yes. It's a very good marketing technique. It does work. So Popeye's chicken sandwich is a Leo, y'all. So
Of course. Sometime. It was sometime.
mm-hmm.
There you go.
Bruce says, I was watching the History Channel series, What Foods Built America, and the story of fried chicken in this country was quite interesting. Now, I know everybody remembers back in 2019 when people were losing their fucking minds to get a Popeye's chicken sandwich.
So hard. They were losing their minds so hard.
So he says, I cast a birth chart back then for August 12th, 2019, 10 a.m., and the money-making magic was all in the stars.
Huh.
That damn sandwich made $5 billion.
What?
$5 billion, y'all.
For a fucking sandwich?
Now let me say that Popeye chicken sandwich is good though. It's good.
I mean, I believe you. I think my chicken is good. I'm a vegetarian, so I didn't have one. But like,
It's good,
I bet that
girl.
shit was good. I bet it was.
You know we love that chicken from Popeyes. You know the slogan.
Yeah.
So the sandwich was born with the Saturn, Moon, Pluto in Capricorn. This is where it really gets interesting.
Look,
Capricorn,
I was
it's-
just doing a thing on TikTok about cat moons. Okay,
Yep.
destined for success.
Look, this is your next TikTok right here, the Popeyes chicken sandwich. That we could do it. Look, that hey,
I might.
it might
wanna
pop
know.
off.
People want to know.
People want to know about it. So Capricorn itself rules big business. The moon rules its midheaven. The moon also rules the stomach and digestive system. And Pluto rules the second house, money. Now, I guess this is whatever this is about, because I'm like, this must be the sandwiches chart, because I'm like, Pluto doesn't rule the second house.
I can't
So we must-
remember the sandwiches chart.
Yes.
That's also
Yes.
possible episode titles.
Yes. That stellium was getting a sextile from Neptune, which was good for Popeyes, but not so much for customers. They were manipulated into believing that they had to have that motherfucking sandwich. Okay? A big business making a shitload of money off of folks' digestive system. Oh, and not to mention that it was born with a Sun-Venus conjunction in Leo, with Venus ruling the taste buds and ruling the sandwich's ascendant, making it a very pleasant thing to look at.
Okay. Cute little sandwich.
Cute little sandwich. It is.
Cute little sandwich.
Leo itself is about creating something with the goal to have the world praise it. So that Sun-Venus conjunction is trying Jupiter, taking this thing right through the roof. The Sun-Venus conjunction sat closely conjunct at his own Sun-Venus conjunction, but he had not had a single desire to wait an hour for a sandwich.
Man.
That's funny. I heard stories about folks waiting in line and saw news stories with drive-through lines blocks long. Absolutely, we sure did see those. And he says until this day, he's never had one. There you go, Shelby.
Look,
You and
I'm
Bruce.
not the only one.
You're not the only. You're not alone, Shelby. You are not alone.
Better.
That's what Michael Jackson said. I am here with you. We're just going. Okay. So. Okay, then he starts talking about the Chick-fil-A sandwich. So we won't go on into the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Maybe that's another celebrity's transit story
Next time.
for another day.
What
But-
other sandwiches birth charts do you want read to you?
Tell us,
Okay.
y'all. You want the
Tell
Big
us.
Mac? You want the Whopper? You know, you want the Incredible Meat? The Impossible Meat? The Incredible Incredibles.
The incredible edible meat.
Woo, yes.
Alright. Talk about breaking into song. I said I hate it, and I've done it.
Look
like
at
4
it.
times
Shelby
this
is
episode.
now breaking into song. She is
Let's
ready
take
for her
a break.
musical.
I need a break.
Yes, let's take a break out.
Alright, we will be right back. Hey, y'all. We are back for this All Sides episode. And guess what? We've got more relatable content.
More relatable content, y'all.
We know that's the relatable content that you know and love. So we talked about this a little bit last week. A lot, actually, last week. We're back to do
The whole
it again. The whole episode, as a matter of fact. We are continuing our discussion on none other than the ultimatum queer love. It's still Pride Month. We can still get this in. We can talk about
Absolutely.
episodes 7 and 8.
Yes, we're going to talk about episodes 7 and 8. And y'all, it gets juicy.
Oh my god, these were honestly, as much as I laughed during the first 6 episodes, 7 and 8 got a little heavy.
Yeah.
I had some real moments.
Real moments happened, and I was happy to see it. Honestly, now some of the moments maybe not as happy to see.
Sure.
But I hate to see people having very real breakdowns on television.
Yes.
But we'll get to that later.
That was in episode 8.
Yes.
Ooh, man, that was. I have things to say.
Things to say. But let's get into episode 7.
Yeah, let's get into episode 7. So, I just took a few notes. This is like, we're into the trial marriage with your original partner at this point.
Yes.
We're getting into it.
Yes.
So we start off with Mel and Yoli.
Mel and
back
Yoli.
together. Mel is reminding me of someone that we both know, Christine and I.
Mm-hmm.
It's this opening scene. She's in here picking out these strawberries and saying, "Oh, I need to get the perfect one." Such a fucking Virgo.
Such a Virgo.
And Lily is like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm trying to make you breakfast. I'm trying to make it perfect."
I just want to eat, girl. It don't need to be perfect.
Right. Yeah, she's in here, and granted, I mean, she's picking out the berries. She's making a parfait. It's a little health moment.
Mm-hmm.
It's whatever. But Yoli is like not into it. Not into it at all.
Yoli's not feeling it because Yoli's still feeling Xander over here. She's just thinking about Xander and running off and being in love.
This is so interesting because later in this episode, their dynamic starts to remind me, and this is, this is where I have to be like, yes, I am problematic. As everyone knows, I just ended a very long-term relationship, or, we just ended a very long-term relationship. And it's like, you get to this point where you feel like, Yoli is at this point that I feel is very relatable, that Mel is finally doing everything that you could possibly want.
Mm-hmm.
And it does not matter. And Mel is like, what do you need me to do? What do you need me to do? Like, what the fuck do you want from me? And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I can't tell you how it is that my needs aren't being met, but I know that my needs aren't being met here, even though you are doing literally everything that I
asked you to do.
Asked for.
Mm-hmm. And everything I asked you to do. Like, I laid these things out, and Mal stepped up and
she's doing
the things.
Doing it all.
So Yoli's still not really all the way happy, and she's like, "Well, what's the issue? Like, because I'm doing the things.
I'm doing all the things."
And Yoli is just in love. Like, now here's so I had some frustrations. Your own stuff always comes up in all of this.
Always.
I'm like, no, Yoli. Because I'm like, no, Mal has already said that Yoli falls in love, right? And she's stated that Yoli will fall in love with him. She's like, I'm not going to be surprised if Yoli falls in love with somebody.
Right.
Said that from the jump.
Also, so relatable. Like, I'm still out here, like, I love love.
We're
like,
Pisces.
I can't help it. I love to romanticize.
We love
relatable.
love. And so Yoli's a Leo. So Yoli loves that affection and being doted on and being adored and all the things. And so this thing with Xander, again, is 3 weeks old. Very new. Very much the honeymoon stage. And so I get into a space and I'm like, I don't know how you're making these comparisons. I don't know exactly what it's based on, because from a viewer standpoint, it feels like you're comparing a honeymoon phase to a 3-year, we've been in this thing, we've been through some shit together and all this stuff. How do we compare those things? How do you know that Xander can meet all of, how do you know that?
You don't.
You
straight up don't.
So you in love. So I'm like, I get it, because, I love love. I love falling in love.
We love to be delusional about love.
Very delusional up here.
But there's also a part of me that is like, again, this is my own shit.
I know, it's like, let's talk about our own stuff.
Really, yeah, I know. It's so bad because I just like, man, this one relationship especially made me go, ooh, like, I have been this person in this relationship. But Yoli said something about, like, how it feels so good to have someone like meet your needs right off the bat. And it's like, again, you don't know that Xander is going to continue to meet those needs, but to not have to explain to somebody how to love you right away.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, it does feel good. It's like, I can work with this. I can forgive a lot of things if this like initial attraction is there, and I don't have to explain to you how I would like to be loved. You just intuitively understand it. Not that I expect you to read my mind. But like, there is an intuitive sense of like, I know what you need. I don't know. Again, I'm delusional as fuck.
I'm with it. It just, I mean, you know, I'm just, you know, the frustration came up, but I also, I mean, you know, of course, I understand that, you know, that feeling. You know, I think it's very much a combination of just the newness and being swept away and someone meeting those needs, right, from the very beginning. And it's a different person. They have different energy. And so, you know, that's very exciting. And if you're compatible, it's very exciting, right? So, I mean, she's just in that space, and it's really hard. Again, this experiment, I'm like, there's no research behind this kind of, you know, this is not evidence-based practice or anything. So, you know, we've got people, you know, again, in relationship for years with a person. Let's break up for 3 weeks, get with another person real quick, break up with them, get back with our ex, and then let's work through the shit, right? And let's figure out if we want to get married real quick in a month.
In a month?
Well, like, not in a month, but in a month we have to decide if we're going to get married or get engaged. So it's just a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot on anyone. And, I mean, you know, again, if you meet someone that you actually vibe with, then what do you do?
What do you do? And it's like, it's so hard to, like, I would imagine it's so hard to not follow through with that because, like, I don't know. I know how I am. It's like, if you see the possibility, like, if you see greater possibility for yourself, like, you won't be able to live with not knowing if that could have been something.
Yeah.
It's like, will that just eat at you in this other partnership forever? Will you be able to let it go? And I think that very much depends on the person and the personality and the astrology. But I don't know.
I don't know. Well, let's move to our next couple. Let's talk about Ozzy and Sam.
Ozzy and Sam. So, okay, so we start out with them. They're in their little apartment or whatever. They're talking about how, okay, interesting discovery here. Sam makes so much more money than Ozzy. She's asking Ozzy to be a little house husband. They're having this conversation about what a house husband is. And Ozzy is like, seems to not be measuring up to what it means to be a house husband. Like, Ozzy is just there and is like, Sam is like, would you be willing to, like, would you want that? Would you want to just not work? And Ozzy's like, yeah. Absolutely. I'm coming up with, is saying it under the pretense of like, I've come a long way in my ideas about gender norms. And it's like, have you, or do you just not want to work anymore?
Yeah, I'm questioning this. This is like bombastic side-eye over here. Like, what? Yeah. Like, what's going on?
Ozzy is high-key toxic.
Yeah. Like,
high-key. And we will get into that in
we
episode
will.
8, too. But,
yes.
Like, Ozzy. Like, I want to like Ozzy.
I do, too.
But, like, go to therapy. Go to therapy.
Baby, the way I yelled go to therapy in episode 8. Yelled it.
Oh, my God.
Yelled it.
Yes. Go to therapy.
Now, come to find out, just as an aside, the friend in episode 8 that helped in that situation that we'll talk about, we get to it, but that friend is actually, I think she's a healer. I saw her on Instagram the other day. So she does some kind of healing work. I'm trying to remember if she's I don't know if she's a clinician, but I do know she does healing work.
Some kind of energy.
So I was like,
sense.
Interesting.
That friend did seem to have, like, good vibes.
Yes.
You know.
She knew what to do. Because I'm like, I don't know that all friends would have gone out. Because I'm like, was she both of their friends or was she Sam's friend?
I thought it was Sam's friend.
I did too.
Sam was like, would you go outside and check on Aussie? So I don't know if that was just because Sam knew that they were a healer, that she was a healer, or what the deal was there. But
maybe so.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it. I mean, just thought it was interesting. Yeah, Aussie, I struggle. Yes.
But, so also in this episode, we learn a lot about, we learn that Sam makes more money than Aussie, which I think is always, love to see how people react to that kind of dynamic. Mm-hmm. We also learn a little bit more about, just a little glimpse into Aussie's background and childhood. So Aussie is, in fact, from Australia.
Yes.
And they, want to be called Aussie. I still don't know what the pronouns are. I heard she, but then they referred to their previous name being their dead name, and so I don't make any assumptions.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Aussie is from Australia, and they meet with Aussie's brother, Ron. Side note, would smash. He started
just
talking, and I was like, that Australian accent, and he wasn't even that cute, but he had this long hair.
It's the hair, isn't it?
And the Australian accent, and I was like, yeah, I would smash.
Would smash.
No, not pass.
Not pass. We're gonna smash. Not pass.
Smash. Yeah.
Yes, that conversation with brother Ron. Did you say Ron?
Ron.
Yes.
His name is Ron. Yeah.
Ron, so eye opening. That helped explain so much, and still go to therapy.
Yes,
but
especially now that we've had this conversation.
Yes. Definitely. Yes. I'm like, okay, so there's some awareness you're opening up. It's time. Let's go do the work. You ready? Let's go do it. Go do the work. Because, Aussie definitely has some work to do. I don't think Aussie is a lost cause. I just think Aussie needs to go to therapy and work through these things.
To do some work.
Yes.
Aussie needs to do some work.
Yes.
So moving on, then we get to Ray and Lexi. So in their kind of opening scene, it's the two of them sitting on the couch. Ray's doing a lot of crying. They're
the cancer
she is working through it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ray is trying, it seems, to figure herself out. At one point in that conversation, they're talking about something, and Ray was like, "Oh, did you like the top I had on?" And Lexi's like, "Yeah, I picked it out for you." And I was like, what a Capricorn thing to do. She literally dresses her girlfriend.
Lexi.
That conversation, it felt like
Lexi.
they were moving forward.
Yeah.
But then they take a few steps forward, and then I feel like they take a million steps back. I'm just like, nah, I get reminded that Lexi is still way too young for this kind of commitment. Way too young.
But she's so ready for it. She feels like she's so ready for it. Mm-hmm. She's got these ideas in her head. I feel like she's got these these are the, she's Capricorn. These are things I'm supposed to do. I got to meet these goals and check the boxes. I got to do these things. This is how it goes. I'm supposed to dress my girlfriend. I do these things.
Right.
Pick out her clothes. I'm responsible.
You're going to be like, I wish that I had a partner who dressed themselves in
right.
their own style, and I didn't dress them. You're going to
create a dependency.
One day.
Come on now.
Exactly.
Don't do it. That's not the move.
Exactly.
It's not the move.
Also very relatable content.
Yeah. Very relatable content. Yes. So they also discuss, they're reconnecting. I think they're, trying to get back into things after, Ray's indiscretion with Vanessa.
Again, Lexi will not shut the fuck up about. She
can't let it go.
Let Vanessa go. She
can't.
So upset by Vanessa.
Yes. Now, I do have some strong thoughts about why. Because I think when you run into personalities like Vanessa, and when you get caught in her crosshairs, you become one of those targets for those kinds of people. Mm-hmm. It's hard. It's hard because she sees something, but she's like, everyone else doesn't see this about this person.
Right.
And the person has started doing stuff to get into her relationship. So she's like, nah, we're not doing And yes.
So frustrating.
So Lexi is having a hard time being able to let go of the Vanessa thing, but she tried.
She's trying.
She's trying.
Doing her best.
She's doing her best. She's doing her best.
Yeah.
So speaking of Vanessa,
let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Vanessa. Vanessa and Xander.
The first thing I wrote down in here with Xander and Vanessa, because they're having this like romantic meal or whatever, I'm like, okay, Xander with the chef skills, like.
Does Xander cook? I didn't even pick that up.
Xander cooked that very first opening scene, and I'm like, ooh, look at you. Look at you. Fancy.
Fully crushing. Crushing.
Also, would smash.
Would smash.
Really love Xander. But also, the other thing I noticed, they sit down and have this dinner together, and it seems like Vanessa has really pulled Xander back into her clutches, you know? Because Xander's, even the I wrote down something about the body language where they're sitting at this table. Vanessa's, like, leaned back, and she's eating her food, and she's got very, like, straight up and down posture. And Xander is, like, leaned in and, like, you can tell, you can see it, and I'm just like, Xander, no. She's all the way there.
All the way in there.
Yeah.
But maybe she wasn't. Maybe she actually wasn't all the way in there.
Wink, wink.
Maybe.
You know what? Who's the real liar here? Who's the real narcissist?
You know, okay, listen. So, I have some thoughts. Because I'm like, sometimes, I ain't saying that word with Xander, but I'm like, sometimes when I see Xander with other people, I'm like, the thing is, when you are dealing with that kind of person, I do feel like some of that, it has to rub off, but not rub off, but it's like, it's almost like you have to pick up some of that as a defense.
Yes.
But then you don't know how to take it back off, you know, and you start using with other people, and it's like, whoa, you get into a little manipulative space. You're getting a little, you know, that's a little toxic right there.
Yeah. Interesting.
But that just some thoughts about that. But yeah, I mean, yeah. Now, again, so Xander asked Vanessa what she wants in a marriage, because Xander's like, oh, so you've had this, you know, this change, you know, Vanessa 2.0, you know.
I'd like to meet Vanessa 2.0.
Yeah, yes. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what about marriage? Vanessa has nothing.
I don't know. She's literally says, I don't know. I'm ready.
I'm just ready. Like, what are you ready for then?
You, babe.
What do you think it's going to be?
Oh my God. And then this, I believe, let's see, let me make sure I didn't write this down. Oh no, that's episode 8. Next episode is when they meet her dad.
Yeah, now that's another very telling conversation.
So juicy.
Yes.
Really quickly, let's get to Tip and Mildred.
Yes.
The main thing that I got from this is Mildred saying, you can stop being an asshole, but I can't stop being Latina.
I was like, now, Mildred.
Okay, I'm sorry. I am a white person, but, like, you can't say that.
You can't. Now, Mildred. Now, girl. You cannot say that you interrupt people because you're a Latina. Now, we understand, like, as people,
yes,
and Latina friends, we know, you know, culturally, Latina women, maybe more, you know, yeah. You got to get hurt, right? Because you got to get in there. And there are other cultures like that as well. You know, Italians tend to be like that. Yes. You know, get in there. But
get in it or get lost.
Right. But when you're in a one-on-one relationship with somebody,
no, you're not. You don't have to yell.
We don't have to yell. We both need to create space so we can both be heard. And so they talk about respect in this conversation, and that is an interesting thing. It's not boding well for these two. Again, very passionate, but
I also wrote down, okay, so this is like the first scene where we're being introduced to them in their trial marriage or whatever. Yeah. And then we come back at the end. They go on this other little date. Mm-hmm. They're kind of, you know, they're getting ready to have their sort of last time together. And I literally wrote, did Mildred go to therapy in between takes? Because she comes back with, like, yes, I understand what's happening, and, like, it's like
their second conversation, night and day.
Self-awareness. I'm like, okay, do they have a therapist on staff?
No, but
because it literally feels like she went to therapy.
But she might have gone to therapy, but I don't think they have one on the staff. They need to, but they don't.
Wildly different. Then we also learn a little bit about Mildred's son having special needs.
Yes.
Like, you know, that kind of being a big thing. Obviously, we've kind of explored some of her attachment stuff before, which also tends to be a big part of it. Like, I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic for them.
It is. It is. I did appreciate that they were able to come back and have a much more, mature, calm, what is the word I'm trying to say? Just self-aware conversation. Just aware, both of them aware. Because I felt like in the first conversation, Tiff was trying to bring that energy. But then when Mildred said, it's because I'm a Latina, she was like, oh, hold on.
She was like, I'm done.
Okay.
This is a ridiculous conversation. Okay.
She said, wait a minute. She said, respect does not have a race. And I was like, come on, Tiff. Now that is true. That is true, Tiff.
And both of them are so interesting to me because sometimes, individually they are extremely insightful. And then they get into this, like, toxic-ass place, but with the two of them together, and I don't know if it's just, they're both just like that sometimes and good at covering it up, or if it's just, the two of them together brings it out of each other. I don't know what that is, but I don't know. I want to root for them, but I just, I don't have a lot of hope that that's going to go well.
It sounds like, it was, again, they were hot and heavy. They had a good time. And maybe they need to call it after
Maybe they need to cool it.
Let's just be friends. Let's stay friends.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
They would never, though. They literally could not. They can't stop touching each other.
Just, so handsy.
So handsy.
I need some of that in my life, honestly.
Be handsy in front of the camera either.
Right.
Like, damn, y'all know that that people are watching.
The people
Poor
can
dog
see you.
on the end of the bed.
The dog.
There's what I think that was actually episode 6.
I think that was last episode, but it was.
Yeah. It's the dog's on the end of the bed and the bed's moving and you're just like, I can't believe they're allowed to show this on TV, but at least kick the dog off the
Kick
bed.
the dog. But you know what? Again, relatable content. Because how many people's dogs be just chilling in the room, on the bed?
Speaking of bombastic side-eye, just like, what are y'all doing up there?
Whew. Now, shout out to my old dog because my first dog was not about that life. She was like, oh, no, girl. I'm gone.
No.
She was leaving the room.
Look, Kima will get under the bed and be like, I'm just pretending it's not happening.
Right?
I'm just pretending it's not happening.
This is so uncomfortable, y'all.
You picked the worst place to hide. I know.
Right, under the bed.
Space, but what are you doing?
The place that we're doing it.
Anyway. Okay.
But anyway. Let's get to the main event here, okay?
Yes.
The main event of episode 7, which is the cocktail hour.
The cocktail hour. Let's talk about it.
So, we arrive at the cocktail hour, and we just start in. We just come on right into the drama. And we find out that Vanessa has texted Mal to let her know that Xander and Yoli have been talking on the side.
This made me laugh so hard because Mal said, Vanessa thinks that she's a fire starter and she's a fruit fly.
Listen, Mal is not she does not give a shit about what Vanessa's got going on. So she done heard all the stuff from Lexi. She's like, listen, you ain't nobody to me.
I'm tired of this bitch.
Yeah. She's like, this little fruit fly.
At the end, so they bring Yoli over. They're all having the conversation together.
Yes.
Like, she's like confronting her, like, why did you do this? Like, let's talk about it. But then she's like, oh, well, while we're here, since we're here, like, what did it say?
What are we talking about? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you asked her to send a selfie? Okay. It's this whole little conversation. It's like, I don't think that Vanessa is anybody to Mal, but at the same time, Mal does kind of go, so, because we're here. And I think
Oh,
this
yeah,
is sort of where she starts to kind of go, okay, maybe I'm not a hell yes for her. Maybe she's not a hell yes for me.
Now, I love that she just brought it on out. Like, I love that she was like, oh, come on over here. You and
We're
you.
gonna talk about it.
Let's have a conversation. She's like, oh, no, we're not about to do that. Let's everybody get together. Let's talk about it. Let's get it on the table. I was like, I love
Would
it.
this make me
I
deeply
love it.
uncomfortable? Yes.
Yes.
Like, is this the way that you should handle stuff like this? Absolutely.
Yes. Very Virgo.
Absolutely.
Virgo said, no. We're not playing those games.
We're talking about it.
Let's do this in a logical fashion. Yes. So just they got onto it. There was some confusion. There were some things apparently that people didn't remember that they did or said in those text messages.
That's right.
That Yoli maintained.
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened. What do you mean you didn't know it happened?
And then she's like, oh yeah, okay, I could see that. It's like,
Right, like, no, you said it, didn't you?
You did it. It's
Like, hold on now. Not I can see that.
Right.
See, that kind of stuff irritates me. I'm like, now that sounds like some shit I probably would do. But also, that irritates me to see someone else do that shit. No, be direct. Did you say this or no?
Did you do it or not? Right. Did you do it or not?
Just keep it funky. So, that conversation ends. Then next thing we see Xander and Yoli together having a little connection moment, right? A little tryst. They're hugging and telling each other they missed each other and having little secret conversations about decision day and what they gonna do and do you still, what you thinking, what you want me, you don't want me, like. I'm doing a lot here, but.
Well, but that is kind of the gist.
Pretty much
of
what's happening,
right? Yeah,
Yeah, very shady.
Very shady.
Very shady.
But they, it's clear that there are still feelings there on both ends.
Yeah.
So
another piece of this, I'm trying to. Did I put it later? No. So this continued to happen. So this we see them this first scene together, but then Yoli keeps finding ways to find her way back to Xander. So they have this conversation with Mildred. And Mal walks up to join. She's like, can I join the conversation? And Yoli, it's like, well, no, it's kind of intimate or whatever. And I'm like, it's kind of intimate.
You're just trying to get her to go away because you want to have your moment with
Because you want to have your moment with Xander, and your girl over here will facilitate that for you. Because that's what besties do. So that's fine, besties do that kind of stuff. But so Mal and Yoli go off to the side, they talk, and she's like, you want me to trust you? Now this is where Mal really gains some big points here, right? Because she's giving Yoli this space to just figure this thing out.
She's been so cool about it.
She's been real cool. Most people would not.
Right.
She's being real patient.
That you have fallen in love with someone else. She's just trusting the process. Come back to me.
She's, big girl stuff right here. So, props to Mal.
Props to her. Yeah. Absolutely.
A quick thing in here. Ray curves Vanessa, real quick in there.
Yes. Oh my god. And then Lexi still ends up having a problem with it.
Lexi still has a problem later. She's like, you need to set some fucking boundaries. She hit her firm too. Like, I don't have any plans of having Vanessa in our lives. I'm like, oh.
Well, but I thought
about me?
Ray did a really good job.
I think she did too.
Considering what kind of person she seems to be, she does seem to not really know herself super well, or how, she's a little bit of a people pleaser maybe.
Yeah. In
some ways. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, she's definitely a lot more passive, a more quiet, at least, so yeah, I think she did fine. I think she was just like, oh, kind of play her to the left a little bit, but
right,
it's like,
perhaps.
Yeah, a little stiff arm, like, hey, all right. It's like, nice to see you. Give you a handshake, give you a dap. But yeah, Lexi still has an issue with it. So we come back to another conversation with Mal. And now the whole group.
Yeah. Making the Xander Yoli relationship is the center of the cocktail hour.
It is the center now. Everybody is talking about it. Xander's over. And so Mal is questioning Xander about, does she choose Yoli? Like, Mal is like, look, I choose Yoli. We've been through all this, that, and the other together. Boom, boom, boom. I choose her through all of this shit. I choose her.
Yes.
Do you choose her?
Yes.
And so then they pull Yoli in, because Yoli was over here talking to her homegirl. They pull Yoli in so Yoli could see. Now, this was a little slightly manipulative. Because...
Still reality TV after all.
Yes, absolutely. So they get her, because Mal wants her to see what Xander's response is. Mm-hmm. And of course, Xander's like, I don't know just yet. I don't know if I choose her. I'm choosing myself.
Everybody is right there. Like,
right.
I too would have a hard time just being like, yes, I'm deciding right here in front of especially the way Vanessa is crazy.
In front of Vanessa, right.
I would have a hard time with that.
Yes. Yes. So, she put the pressure on her. She said she didn't know. So then, that's where we leave the night. And everybody goes home to talk about it.
Everybody talks about it.
And they all talked about it. So we won't talk about all the individual conversations about it. But I did want to point out that Vanessa, in her conversation with Xander, she's like, yeah, we're going through some shit. You hurt me a lot. I'm like, ooh, she turned right back into being a victim. She is great at turning back into the victim.
And Xander allows it. Xander has not for 1 second been like, actually, you embarrassed the fuck out of me and you really hurt me. Like, nope, she just let it happen. I want her to stand up for herself more with her, you know?
I do too. I have, we have thoughts about why. But, hey, here we are. So, I was trying to see if there's anything else. I think that's it for episode 7. Do you have any final thoughts for episode 7?
No, I think that's pretty much it. And I want to get into episode 8 because we don't have a ton of time left.
Yes.
And the first thing, well, so much happens here. Let's start with Xander and Vanessa because we were just talking about them.
Yes.
Vanessa's dad again. I want that man to have a TV show where he just
Vanessa's
gives everybody bad advice, but
advice. This is the only good advice. Somewhat.
He had some good points.
Good points.
And Vanessa did not want to hear it.
Didn't want to hear it.
Yeah. So he is sitting down and Vanessa's saying like, yes, I'm ready for marriage now, blah, blah, blah. This man sees right through that shit.
Absolutely.
He said, you are trying to be chosen and you are changing yourself so that you don't have to, be left by Xander, basically. Like, is this really what you want? He's saying, I've been there. This man has been married 3 times, he says. Like, yeah, he's giving good advice, and Vanessa's like, at every turn, she's like, no, I am ready. You don't know me.
Yeah. I mean, he straight up tells her she just doesn't want to lose. Like, you're invested, you've done all this. I mean, and I think that really...
Sunk cost fallacy, baby. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, it really speaks to that, personality issue, where it does become a competition. It's not necessarily that I love you so much and value you so much. I just can't lose you.
You want to win.
Especially to somebody else. Like, no. You can't leave me. I leave you. Like, and if I'm not leaving you yet, yeah, like, you're not going nowhere. Yes. So, yeah, he called that right on out. He said, you just don't want to lose. You just... Your ego. He straight up called it an ego. He said ego. This is an ego thing.
Absolutely that. He's so right. He knows his kid.
Because
they are so much alike. Like, and Xander's just sitting there, like, taking it all in. Not really saying a whole lot. It's interesting. It's very
I think I don't know how many times they've had conversations like that with her dad or someone in her family, but I'm like, if a family member is saying that,
yeah.
If a parent is like, yeah, I've known you for a while. Exactly. Sounds like this happening here.
Yep.
Something to pay attention to.
Something to pay attention to. Then, our next major event of episode 8. Aussie has a full meltdown. A full meltdown. And I had so many feelings about this. It is so hard to see somebody be in this much pain. It is, especially, like, you and I, like, I don't mean to be one of those assholes who's like, oh my god, I'm a highly sensitive person. But also, like, it's hard to, like, look at that and not take that in and feel it. Because you can tell that Aussie is in a fuck ton of pain.
Yeah.
But the things that Aussie is saying, I cannot get down with. I cannot.
Yeah.
What do you mean? She's like, they are like saying things about, you know, oh, I'm hearing your truth, but you're not hearing my truth. You don't look like you're hearing my truth at all.
No.
You're just trying to get your point across.
Yeah.
I can't. Ooh. It just really. It was kind of triggering.
Aussie uses a lot of their their background, their trauma, to excuse, you know,
Yes.
again, like what they're doing. Like, well, you know about this. You know this about me. It's like, yeah, I do know that about you, but what are you going to do about it?
I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm not
Right.
trying to make you feel bad.
That's fine, but you have
matter.
to. You are, and so you have to do something different. Yeah.
It's so frustrating. And Sam is so right in that she came back from her trial marriage experience being a little bit more forthright, a little bit more talkative, standing up for herself, and Aussie hates it. Aussie hates it.
And every time she just really speaks up for herself and doesn't just accept whatever Aussie is saying, that is when Aussie has these meltdowns where and they have to leave, and you know, like, I can't with the leaving, but Aussie walked out, right, and then had a breakdown.
Literally took an Uber out.
Listen.
Could not handle it.
You can't even come back to the table with me. We didn't even get into a. Okay.
Right.
All right. You go ahead and go.
Walked out, and then you like worked yourself up so much. Man, this was a lot.
It was a lot.
Childhood trauma was so blatant, and yeah, I feel for that for people when that shit happens, but that is not an excuse. At some point, you just got to figure it out.
Yep. You know, it's our job as adults, right? Like, we have to figure it out. We have to work on our trauma. Like, yeah, it sucks that this happened to me and it wasn't my fault, but now I gotta do the work to deal with it.
About it.
So it doesn't ruin my life.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yep. Not a lot of other major events for other couples in this one.
Yeah.
I will just really quickly, the friend of Mal's, when they go to see Yoli and Mal, and they go back with her friend, that friend cracks me up, because they're just like, Yoli, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then Yoli gets up and leaves, and Mal and the friend have this moment where they go back and forth, and they're both just saying, that was trash. I mean,
I was like, are these my friends? Because this is exactly the conversation. Trash. That's trash. Like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And it was trash, honestly. Like, it was trash.
I also really respected that Yoli was being very bold with the friend and very honest, and I really respect that. But also, like, that friend's, if you guys do end up back together, that friend is not going to like you.
She's not.
You basically burned a bridge.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
It's, yeah.
Yep. And I wouldn't like you for my friend either. Like, I'd be like, oh, no, I'm good on that. I'm good on you. And I'm good on you for my girl. So, just.
Exactly.
As the friend, that's definitely where I would be. So I'm like, oh, no, you need to be a hell yes on my friend. What the fuck? Like, you ain't no hell yes right now. You want her to be a hell yes for you, and you ain't a hell yes for her.
All the way around. Yeah. So, not a whole lot of other exciting things for Tiff and Mildred. Not a lot for Ray and Lexi in this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking about the final decisions that everyone makes.
And the reunion. So we have episode 10 as the reunion.
Oh my
and
God,
that is quite an interesting one.
Can't wait to talk about that.
Yes.
So, again, we didn't really expect to get in this deep with all sides this week.
It's all right.
But I'm kind of glad we did. This was a good episode to do it with because a lot happened.
Yes. So we'll talk about 9 and 10 next week. Week after that, we'll see.
That's right.
One of the next 2 episodes. We only have 2 more episodes, y'all.
Oh my God.
Is that right? No.
I think we have 3 actually.
3? No, we have 2. No, we have 2. Sorry, y'all. We cut one.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I just didn't cut it out of our setup yet.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll get there. Well,
yes.
2 more episodes.
Y'all.
To cover it. Do we want to take a quick break before we come back and wrap up?
All right, y'all. We are back to wrap up the show. And before we go, I'm just going to do a quick little horoscope for you all. I think last week I promised a Venus in Leo horoscope. We've got a plane. Everyone likes to fly over when I start talking. But we're going to jump right in, y'all. So, first up, we have Aries.
Fly on through it.
Yeah. Aries, Venus in Leo. This is what you can expect. So, grab your favorite childhood photo and create an altar for your inner child. Otherwise, when was the last time you enjoyed a celebratory night out? The planet of love is pirouetting through your heart-centered 5th house of authenticity, creativity, and self-expression, which means it's time to put your talents on display. Not to worry, you won't have to try very hard. You're a magnet for praise and affection this Venusian season, and your theatrical persona makes you all the more irresistible. To think your red-hot ruler Mars is also charging up this area of your chart. As for Venus retrograde, you'll want to make note of your creative ideas and inspirations between July and September. By the way, romantic flings from the past are also likely to resurface, so keep your head held high and show them what they've been missing, okay? Aries, that's you, baby. All right, Taurus.
Hey.
Here's what you can expect for your Venus in Leo season. Home is where both your heart and the party is, so call up your best pals because you're the host with the most. This is also an excellent transit for family gatherings and fun-filled activities that bring you and your loved ones together. Now, in addition to having your celestial ruler Venus sweetening up things in your humble abode, you also have feisty Mars adding wood to the fire. Those of you entertaining the thought of readorning your living space, don't hesitate to take the creative lead as long as you're being mindful of your spending. Venus retrograde will be especially significant for you, given that Venus just so happens to be your planetary ruler, not to mention retrograding through the most personal sector in your chart. Themes surrounding family assets, childhood heirlooms, and or your close relatives could come up for review. Taurus.
Review, huh?
All right, Gemini. That's what you can expect for your Venus in Leo season. It's hard to use your indoor voice when both Mars and Venus are in Leo, let alone igniting your chatty 3rd house of communication. Fortunately, there's nothing you enjoy more than dynamic storytelling, and, well, the tea will be scorching hot now that the planet of love is dazzling this area of your chart. Whether via Instagram DMs with your crush or in the break room with your favorite coworkers, there's no denying your theatrical and charismatic persona. You're already a brilliant conversationalist, so go on and take the mic. Keep in mind, between July and September, Venus retrograde will likely inspire you with the influx of ideas, whether creatively or with regards to your personal life. You're naturally fickle, but it can be difficult to stay present at this time. Make sure you're communicating clearly and penciling your miscellanies. Ooh, miscellanies.
Okay.
I don't often get that
That's
version of the word. Like, okay, miscellanies. Of course, on the Gemini, you always get the interesting words on Gemini horoscopes.
Words, not
Yes. Yes. All right, Cancer. That's what you can expect for your Venus and Leo season. Remember who you are and don't be afraid to prioritize your personal values. You are worth more than you give yourself credit for. Although, whether for better or for worse, your relationship with money and your sense of self-worth are being brought to the forefront at this time. This is especially true with Venus making its regal debut in Leo and your stability-seeking second house of money, finances, and possessions. Feeling the urge to splurge? Venus already craves the finer things, but the glitz and glamour tends to go up a notch or two when transiting lavish Leo. Moreover, Venus will backspin through this area of your chart between July and September, which is where you could be confronted with a newfound awareness around finances and or your sense of security in general. Are you sure?
It applies to me as a Cancer rising.
Rising, yep. Are you sure of what you can bring to the table? All right, Cancer. Things to look out for. All right. Leo. Venus and Leo. All right. Not that you've never not been ready for your close-up, but it's all eyes on you, and for more reasons than one. In addition to having both Mars and now Venus in your sign, your ruler, the Sun, is also lighting up your 11th house of social contributions and sense of belonging in the world. Reflect on your personal branding and unique identity. After all, you're more likely to connect with potential suitors under this dazzling transit, whether for personal or professional reasons. More importantly, Venus will retrograde in your sign between July and September, and no, this doesn't put a damper on your birthday festivities, okay? Because we know y'all care about that birthday, Leo. If anything, this is an opportunity for you to tend to your personal appearance, or perhaps refresh your wardrobe selection. Warning: steer clear of cosmetic procedures and risky makeovers that have the potential of going south. Again, because this is, Venus and Mars, though. So you got to watch out for that Mars part, because Mars is like accidents and injuries and stuff, and, could mess something up. So just wait. Just don't do it. Just don't do nothing.
No.
Don't have any procedures, Leo. Don't do it. All right. So Virgo. This is what you can expect for Venus and Leo season. Take a load off, Virgo. Lady Venus will be joining go-getter Mars in Leo via your sleepy 12th house of closure, inhibitions, and unconscious patterns, which presents you with an opportunity to get reacquainted with your personal life behind the scenes. And though you're compassionate by nature, it's important to be discerning when it comes to the sacrifices you consciously and or unconsciously choose to make. This is also a wonderful time to check in with yourself and bask in with some well-deserved alone time. Activities where you can reconnect with your Zen, a day at the spa, meditation, yoga, etc., are suggested. Venus will eventually station retrograde, and this could bring awareness to relationship patterns you unknowingly subscribe to, while others of you find the will to surrender to a romantic partnership once and for all. Some maybe coming to an end, y'all.
Ooh, surrender a romantic partnership.
Breakups for Virgo. Or let goes, releasing.
It's in the season.
Virgo might be releasing.
Let go. Release.
Let's let
There
go.
we go.
Libra. That's what you can expect for Venus in Leo season. Your social media content is popping. But then again, it's not hard to double tap when you're a Venusian and irresistible. Also, it's not every day your luscious planetary ruler sachets through your 11th house of soirees, friendship, and social contributions. Sachets, honey.
Sachet through your soiree?
It's Pride Month, honey. You're living it up and showing the world the true story of a sparkling socialite. Mars is also igniting this area of your chart, which means if you're suddenly crushing or craving romantic attention from an acquaintance, it's bound to fizzle as quickly as it starts. On July 22nd, your goddess ruler will station retrograde, which is where things are bound to get interesting. For example, if you've been surrounding yourself with superficial energies who aren't genuinely supportive of your unique talents, or simply not in alignment with your future goals and aspirations, the truth will be crystal clear.
Crystal clear.
Govern yourselves accordingly, Libras. Okay, Scorpio.
Like it.
Here's what you can expect for your Venus and Leo season. Spruce up your LinkedIn profile. Oh, LinkedIn. Okay.
We're still using LinkedIn? Okay.
LinkedIn. Jesus. Okay. All right, let me give you it's just a personal trigger. Spruce up your LinkedIn profile, Scorpio, and restock those business cards. Venus will be joining your co-ruler Mars via the show-stopping sign of Leo and your 10th house of authority, reputation, and legacy in the world. Whether professionally or in terms of finances, Venus brings out the best in you, as you are equally as diplomatic as you are celebrated for your work ethic at this time. This is when the stars align for a well-deserved promotion, while others may send out resumes in hope of landing the jobs of your dreams. The irony of this glow-up, however, is that Venus will eventually station retrograde in this area of your chart, but this doesn't take away from its appeal. In fact, if you were contemplating whether to launch your own business or perhaps to connect with a mentor that could help you level up, now's the time to do it. My advice? Put a portfolio of your work together.
Okay.
Scorpio.
Noted.
Scorpio's making money moves and job moves over here, moving up in the world.
We love to see that.
Yes. All right, Sagittarius. It's your Venus and Leo's horoscope. Are you ready to take the stage? Everything from your unique point of view to the creativity behind your personal experiences is under the spotlight of this Venusian transit. Everyone has something that makes them stand out in the crowd, but it's up to you to stand firm in what you believe in. Nevertheless, whether through travel or a higher form of education, this is an opportunity for you to reconnect with your heart's desires and what essentially has the power to set your soul on fire. Keep in mind, Venus will retrograde through this area of your chart between July and September, which means that amidst expanding your horizons via relationships and or financial opportunities, it's important to remain humble and keep an open mind. You learn something new every day, and there's so much to learn about yourself in the process. Okay, a little self-growth. Sag. Okay.
We like that. Learn some things about yourself.
Yes, come on. All right, Capricorn, your Venus and Leo horoscope. Intimacy and sexual chemistry are top of mind with both Mars and Venus shaking up your 8th house of shared resources and energy exchange. Ooh, energy exchanges, yes.
Okay, that feels weird for Capricorn, so it feels like a big deal.
Yeah. Although despite your lust for life and insatiable urge to merge, you're being confronted with the shadowy attributes of your love language and individual desires. Is there an equal amount of give and take in this transaction? Are you confident in vocalizing your personal needs? There is a rage and passion surrounding your connections, but with Venus stationing retrograde on July 22nd, there's an opportunity to heal and reconnect with your sense of self-worth. This is especially true for those of you who have experienced power dynamics in your intimate connections, whether financial or when pertaining to investments of the ego. Ooh, investments of the ego, Cap. Okay. Ego investments. Right. Aquarius. Your Venus and Leo horoscope. All right. We all get by with a little help from our friends, but you're not about to settle for anything less than the royal treatment. After all, with Venus dazzling your committed self-house, 7th house of agreements, compromise, and significant others, you're not only as present as ever in your relationships, but also reveling in the unique attention that comes with it. This is an excellent transit for personal and professional collaborations, specifically those where you can shine bright in your authenticity. More importantly, however, Venus will be stationing retrograde in Leo between July and September. And though you're craving harmony in your one-on-one connections, you could come to realize which relationships require more time, energy, and sacrifice, whether it be because of you or them. On a brighter note, pending legal matters could become finalized if revisited. Okay.
Oh boy.
Legal matters. Okay. Just wrap that on. Just throw that in at the end. Those legal matters, Aquarius.
Right.
I guess that hopefully it resolves in your favor. I guess. So, last but not least, right. Pisces, this is your Venus in Leo horoscope. When we feel our best, we do our best. And you're seeing this firsthand with Venus dazzling your 6th house of health, day-to-day affairs, and acts of service. Whether personally or in terms of your occupation, Venus's journey through vivacious Leo is not only energizing and motivating you, but also making sure the sun shines a light on your unique gifts on a daily basis. You're just as productive as you are inspired, and you may also receive sweet compliments and encouragement from those you connect with regularly. As for Venus retrograde, however, this is an excellent time to partake in detoxes, cleanses, and or a much-needed decluttering in your personal space. You have the courage to maximize your day in the best way possible, and the more authentic you are in your approach, the better. In the meantime, reflect on how you can be the king and or queen of your own world on a daily basis. All right, y'all. That's been your Venus and Leo horoscope.
Okay.
Govern yourselves
I love
accordingly.
this.
Yes.
Thank you.
So,
Govern yourselves accordingly.
yes. So we're here. We're at the end. It's time to wrap things up, my friends. So this is where I say, if you would like to send us a message, it's a little voice note. Oh, side note here. I did put a link in our link tree. So if you go to our TikTok or our Instagram, there is a link that you can leave voice notes. So if you'd like to leave a voice note about the show,
Yay!
comments, question, whatever,
We will post
anything you want, leave us a voice note. That's where you can find that link. It is there for you forever, so you can find it. But if you would like to do a reading for you on the show, if you have questions, if you have suggestions, anything like that, email us. And our email address is suchapiscespod@gmail.com. And that is spelled SUCHAPISCESPOD@gmail.com.
As always, you can also find us at Such a Pisces Pod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and as Christine just mentioned, TikTok. I'm really trying to be more active over there, I promise. So far, so good.
She's doing it.
If you have not already, please like us, subscribe to our podcast, maybe leave us a little review,
Yes.
tell a friend. And if you are listening on Spotify and you have not noticed, we leave fun little polls on Spotify. That's a fun little feature that they have. So go ahead and take those. It takes like 2 seconds. Like, just like let us know some shit about you.
Yeah.
So that we can, we can have some data, okay?
Yeah, tell us things. We're trying to get to know y'all. There'll be some polls popping up on Instagram soonish. So, just be on the lookout. But we want to get to know our audience better. So please interact and engage with those things.
Yes, we love to see it. We love to see it. Anything else before we get out of here, friend?
That's it, y'all. We're done.
That's it. We're done. We're done. Let's get out of here.
Let's get out.
I'm hungry.
Yes.
It's late.
Yes.
I'm going to go edit the pod, make a little dinner. It's going to be a great time.
Yes. All right, y'all. So, stay safe out here in these streets. Protect your energy.
Bye.
Bye.